But when he first came to Vienna, he was more famous for his playing than for his composing. And he would sit down with orchestras to play his own music without a single note written out to play. It was in his head. His music was so beautiful that sometimes people would just start to cry. But Beethoven would laugh and say, "Composers do not cry. Composers are made of fire." Mr. Beethoven was not gentle with the wealthy people of Vienna, who did everything they could to please him. He had rough manners even then. He would turn down their invitations, dress carelessly to visit. He would come late for their dinners. Sometimes he would be very angry if he were asked to play. One grand lady got down on her knees one evening and begged Mr. Beethoven to play. Mr. Beethoven didn't even stand up from his chair to refuse her. She pleaded, he refused. She pleaded, he refused. Perhaps they grew used to his tantrums. There was another story. One night when the prince teased him for not playing, Beethoven flew into a rage. He said, "There are many princes, but there is only one Beethoven." But if we can't excuse his manners, perhaps we can explain them. Mr. Beethoven had troubles no one knew about. There is a story people tell. One afternoon, when Beethoven was out walking in the woods with a friend, a shepherd was playing a flute nearby. Beethoven's friend said, "Listen," and stopped to hear the flute. Beethoven heard nothing. When he was still a young man, he began to hear humming and buzzing in his ears. He couldn't hear high notes, and then he couldn't hear soft voices. Slowly, but unmistakably, Mr. Beethoven was going deaf.